Hi, you're watching What Women Want with Revati Priya. Losing a child at no matter what age never really prepares you for the heartache that comes along with it. Today we chat to one of the strongest women I know, a woman with the biggest heart, a wife, a mom, and a nurse. Today she shares more with us on grieving the loss of a child, Saloshni Naidoo. Saloshni, thank you so much for joining me on my show and thank you so much for actually agreeing to do this. I know how difficult this may be for you, but you're going to be helping lots of parents out there today.
Thank you, Revati, for having me on your show. And I think this is a very important message that you have for all parents, not only moms and families going through similar situation that us as a family has been through. And maybe my experience and our experience as a family is going to help someone out there. And that is my greatest desire.
Thank you once again for joining me.
You're most welcome.
Saloshni, grieving the loss of a child, it's something unimaginable. I can't imagine the pain and heartache that you had gone through and are still going through. It's almost 3 years that your beautiful daughter Taryn passed away suddenly in just less than 2 weeks from a brain hemorrhage and heart attack.
Yes.
At the time, and how did you cope with everything going on? I mean, the loss of your child, keeping your family together, work, your emotions. It must have been so much to go through at the time.
Definitely, it was heartbreaking. It was, I'm not sure, I just went through it. It's like you have this inner strength, and most important was the support of us, our immediate family, is my husband and my son Samuel, and of course my extended family. And just I think also being in the nursing field and the medical field, trying to understand what has happened, as you know, it just brought so much things going rushing through my mind. But amidst all of that, it's just that God, has given me that strength to just go on. I have to do this for my child.
So, Saloshni, you mentioned that you're a nurse by profession and
Yes.
you're in the medical field daily.
Yes.
So, hearing about situations like this is somewhat a norm for you. But as a parent, you never really prepare yourself for yourself to go through this. How did you cope and manage what were the emotions that ran through your mind when the doctors broke the news to you? I mean, it must have been difficult because you had to deal with your emotions and then pull yourself together and be strong enough and show how brave you are to your daughter Taryn and break the news to her and show her that you were there by her side, and I'm sure you assured her that you were going to try your best for everything to be okay.
Definitely at that time, especially, you hear of, I speak to people, you hear of people losing their kids and tragedies. And, so you can, as a nurse, you will, empathize and sympathize
Yes.
with them. But when it happens to you, it's like a whole new, situation. And thoughts go into your mind. Is it really my child? Is it really me and us as a family going through this? And what happened? How can this be? We had those questions going through our
I'm
minds.
sure you questioned why you.
And why, also asking, but why? We did everything right, thinking, taking our child to the doctor when she complained of being sick. And, when the doctor, I know, we were in the side room and the doctor was looking at the scan results. Actually, when she went for the scan, I was with her because she's already had like memory loss. So when they took her for the scan, and the ladies asked me, about the scan, which type of scan. She said, no, no, we don't need to do the other one. She needs to speak to doctor. And already I said, what's happening now? There's something
Gone.
serious, because knowing from my experience. And then when the doctor saw the scan, I saw him. I don't think he saw me seeing him do that. Like, he shook his head. And I can smile about that, but at that time, it was like, why? There's something more serious happening, and how come, as a nurse and in the nursing profession, medical field, why did I not know there's something more serious happening with our child?
You mentioned your son, Samuel. How did you manage to cope with the balance of having Taryn in the hospital and being there to support her, running your daily household? I'm sure that you had taken leave during that time for work, but ensuring that Samuel had enough care and attention and he didn't feel neglected during that whole period of time.
I think one of the greatest assets we have are neighbors. And we have beautiful neighbors. They're elderly neighbors. It's like my mom and my mother-in-law all together, and they were there for us as a family. They were there for Samuel, and always checking up on us and wanting to know if they can do anything. Like even sometimes preparing meals for us, and you know. And with Samuel, we made sure that he had everything. We spoke to him, and then it was difficult for him because his sort of best friend and his sister
The
was
son.
in that situation, because they could talk about things that parents. It's about between siblings.
Yes, things that you can't talk to your parents about.
Yes, and she was his greatest inspiration. So at that time, so we had to also give him time to go through this on his own, and with us being there to support him as well.
Saloshni, you're very fortunate to have such a great support system. I mean, just by your neighbors,
Yes.
they were very supportive. So, breaking news to family, friends is always just as difficult. Um, how did you manage to do this? I mean, I know that you and your family, your extended family, are very close.
Yes.
How did you break it to them?
With my family, I think we've had great support from my husband and my extended families, most especially with my mom, who's now, Taryn was one of her apple of her eye, because they loved each other to bits. And we are 6 kids, so we've got, an extended family, about it spans about 30 people. So if any situation, any tragedy, any happy event or sad event, all of them are there, and this was no difference. And we just had to send one message. I called my sister, who actually, most of my sisters are all in the medical and nursing field. So, I spoke to my sister, and the message was passed um, around. And the same day, everyone was there. And they are our greatest support, and they've continued to be our support. And this Sharon, if you know, Sharon had a beautiful spirit, a beautiful soul. So wherever she went, wherever she was, she exuded that spirit of love. And because she loved, and people loved her. And so that was their child. She's not only our child, she was my whole family's child. And they were there. I had all I had to do is send one message, and everyone was there.
Very lucky to have a family like that. I think
Oh,
everyone dreams of having a family
oh,
so
definitely.
supportive.
And I think, not I think, I know that with us getting through this would not have been possible without our family's support and our love. And that's, I think that's our greatest asset, to have family love, family support. And with us, we've had our church, their support. We've had it, and the others, at a time like this, it was so amazing that it came to fore that so many people knew me or knew us or knew Taryn, because at work, I work in a big company, and they knew that Taryn was in hospital. They knew her even before all this happened, because you share stories. Everyone loved her just by hearing her, and they never saw her. But when they heard that she was so seriously ill, when she was, ventilated, and with no, sign of her like coming out of that coma, uh, people of every religion gathered. I was like, most amazed. I was shocked, when I heard this, and they all gathered. They prayed. They prayed for my child, and that was like, it was
Everything you could have asked for.
everything you could have asked for.
We're going to take a break and we'll catch you back in a few.